Good morning, my fellow Nigerians. I have something very important to talk to you about concerning safety. Just the same way President Muhammadu Buhari, President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, announced to us yesterday in a broadcast that the lockdown and stay at home is extended for our safety, for the benefit of keeping us alive. I also realized that I need to talk about safety in homes. This period we are staying in our various houses, and we need to remember that we need the safety of our children, and for the daddies and the mummies is very crucial at this moment. And basically I'll be talking about electrical safety in homes, how we can handle some issues of electrical concern in our homes. Firstly, I would like to talk about the basic and the main equipment that we use in our home. The basic and the main electrical equipment, which is the electrical panel. The electrical panel is the heart of the installation system in our home. The electrical panel is a protective equipment that contains some components for protection against all forms of accident, especially talking about electric shock, electrocution, when one is exposed to live parts of the electrical installation. This can result to electrocution. And our electrical panel is an equipment that is built and installed in our houses to take care of this aspect of safety. In the olden days, this electrical panel is incorporated with fuses. Fuses are components that protect against overload of the circuit and overcurrent. Short circuit is also part of it. Now, in those days, these fuses are the best component that is being used. But technology and modern days advancement has bring in the use of circuit breakers. Circuit breakers have replaced these fuses, and circuit breakers are devices that operate for switching of power off and on, and it operates manually and both automatically. Circuit breakers trips when there is overload, when the circuit is overloaded, and when there is overcurrent, and also when there is short circuit, when the live and the neutral comes together to cause short circuit. In this modern day panel, other components that are incorporated far beyond the use of fuses in the olden days is RCD. RCD is residual current device. It's a device that dictates the imbalance in the current flowing into the component and the current flowing out of the device. And when there is an imbalance, it will trip the circuit for protection of the connected load. Let me explain further. For instance, if the mommy in the house is using a washing machine and that machine is having some form of earth leakage that can result to electric shock. Possibly maybe the live is touching the earth part of the installation somewhere, and it can result to electric shock. By the time this RCD is installed in the panel, it will trip off immediately as soon as the mommy touch the washing machine, to safeguard our life from being electrocuted. This is very important for safety of every member of the family. It may not be the mommy alone. Whosoever goes to the washing machine will be safe by the isolation of that particular circuit as soon as you touch the equipment, the machine, because of the operation of the residual current device. It's also referred to as the earth leakage device, because it detects the leakage of current from the main conductor to the earth, and it trips as soon as this device detects it. This is applicable to other part of the installation, other equipment and appliances. When these equipment and appliances have earth leakage, it will trip and isolate that particular circuit for safety. It can be installed in the panel in two different ways. It can be installed as a group RCD, just one unit RCD installed to isolate the entire panel for safety. But furthermore, it can also be installed for individual circuits, the power circuits, the lighting circuits, the circuits that each of these equipments and appliances are connected. It can be installed to make it separated. It will make it discrete. It's not going to be as a group RCD. Now, if it's installed as individual RCD, it's much more better, because if, for instance, the washing machine has earth leakage issue and is isolated from the entire installation by this RCD installed on that circuit, all other supply goes to every other equipment, every other appliances, without a total shutdown. The bad aspect which is affected by this earth leakage, the RCD will isolate it and take it off from the entire circuit, and the other part of the installation can still be effective. For the panel of these days installed in buildings, the effectiveness of this panel is quite better than what we have in the olden days with just the fuse alone. The current panel we have now, the modern panels now, also incorporate another device that prevents fire from occurring in the building when there is spark as a result of partial contact in the cables that is connected to these breakers in the panel. We have another device that is installed that takes care of arc or spark in the panel as a result of switching or in partial contact. This device is referred to as arc fault detection device, AFDD in short. This device monitors spark in your panel. It monitors the arc, switching arc, the result of the effect that comes from the switching in the panel. And once there is detection of this arc, this device trips the circuit to safeguard the building from being burned as a result of fire that can emanate from that. These panels of nowadays also have monitoring devices, the monitoring of the current, the voltage, the frequency, the power factor and other things in a single device as a digital monitoring meter, not the previous ones we have, that we have a meter that will monitor the current, another one will monitor the voltage, another one that will monitor the frequency. But now we have just a single digital device that monitors all the parameters, the voltage, the current, the power factor, the frequency, monitors all in a single digital device, and it's digital that you can just check for what you are consuming, which can also be installed in these panels. Apart from the panel now, in the installation, your cable is very important. That's the wiring, the wires in the building. In the olden days, many years ago, the conductor inside these wires are aluminum and some other materials, and these materials are not good conductors on the low voltage side, not unlike the high voltage side where we use aluminum conductor to transmit our power for distance purpose. But these days now, the wires and the conductors that is used in the building are made of copper. Copper is a very good conductor and is durable. It lasts longer. And the materials used for the insulation of the olden days cables and wires are less quality materials, not like these days when the insulation of the materials are very okay. And because most of the buildings, old buildings, have been there for so long, the insulation property must have deteriorated, and the materials, this aluminum that is used, are not good materials. So the cables are not as working to the efficient level they are supposed to work again. And then because some of these cables also are connected with loads that are sometimes higher than the rated current carrying capacity of the cable, these cables will start to get hot, and when they are hot, at a time it can result to burning as a result of overheating, and this can lead to fire and the house will get burnt. These areas are very crucial for us to take note of. And when we go further to the subcircuits, we see the plugs and the switches. Most times in the old buildings that have been built for a long time, these switches, some of them are exposed. The wire in them, the live and neutral, are exposed due to crack, due to damages. They are exposed. And when they are exposed, they can affect the safety in different homes, because children can have access to them and it can result to electric shock, which is electrocution. The cracking nature of these materials, because the materials used for those plugs and sockets, after aging, they get damaged, and their exposure is hazard to safety. Is hazard to safety. And this hazard to safety is something we should take note of, because as we are considering safety from coronavirus, as our presidents have said, we should stay in our different homes to avoid continuous spread of coronavirus in communities and continuous infection of coronavirus. We should also look at this aspect of safety in the homes. As we are in our different houses, we should consider safety so that we can live safely in our different houses. Some of these appliances are connected with cords and some kind of other cables that we pass under the rug and we pass under our walkway in the house. And when it's being matched continuously, the status of those cables will be affected, and the cause will be in bad forms that can even expose the cables that covers the conductor in it, and this can lead to shock. Another area I want to look at is the kitchen, where mummies are cooking and some of our daughters that are grown up are also doing their cooking. When the plugs for electric cooker is damaged and there is exposure to the metallic part of this plug, this socket, it can result to electric shock. And most times when the cords are affected, they are getting bad. Most times the mommy in the kitchen will not unplug the plug from the socket. We can just drag the wire directly from the plug, and such thing can lead to accident because the wire may be exposed and then cause shock. So I want to advise that a qualified professional, a registered electrical engineer, a registered professional certified by Koren, can be invited to do inspection and look at all the various aspects of this electrical installation for safety purpose. And I will also advise that the electrical panels that are the olden days electrical panels needs to be replaced. They need to be changed to modern electrical panel in our homes, so that all these protective devices, all this additional protection in the modern panel can be in the new panel for safety. Because the olden days panel, if there is any overload and there is any fault and the fuse operates, the fuse will be damaged and it will need to be replaced, and it's not as fast in operation like the breakers that trips and can be reset. So I will advise that for consultation purpose and for contact, I can be contacted via my phone number. My phone number is 080-334-22045. I repeat it again, 080-334-22045. My name is Engineer Femi Johnson. I am a registered Korean electrical engineer, and I've been practicing in various aspects of electrical engineering, power electrical engineering, ranging from the high voltage 33 kV down to 415 utility and maintenance. I can be contacted for advice, and I can also be contacted for you to get these required products, these modern electrical panels for your operation, for your safety in your various homes. Now that we are under lockdown and there is no movement around, we are under safe operation from the government. Stay at home. You can reach me on phone and we can discuss, and all the deficiency in your homes can be taken care of. And in addition, I will also advise that when you buy a new house or you are moving to a new apartment as a new tenant, it is also advisable for you to invite the professional electrical engineer like me to come for inspection, to check all the areas, all the aspects of your electrical parts, all the electrical appliances, all the electrical equipment and your cables, and to ensure that everything is safe, and the ones that are not safe will be replaced or maintained for perfect safety. Thank you so much for taking your time to listen to this message, and I believe that it will be helpful for you as you act on it. Thank you very much, and I pray that God will deliver Nigeria from this deadly coronavirus disease, and Nigeria will live and will be safe again to move around. Thank you very much. Thank you so much. Bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Bless every citizen of Nigeria. Thank you. Bye.